In Through the Outdoor is the eighth and final album released by Led Zeppelin. It is often seen as the bastard child of Zeppelin's discography because it took the focus off the guitar of Jimmy Page and put more emphasis on the keyboards of bass-playing multi-instrumentalist John Paul Jones. I had never listened to this album in its entirety, so these are my first impressions of the album. It starts off with the track In the Evening. It sounds like a normal Zeppelin track outside of the synth that sweeps back and forth above the song. It's got a kick-ass solo by Jimmy Page, and for a 7-minute track, it goes by really fast. I dig it. Next, we have the song Southbound Suarez. The band sounds super interlocked on this track, and it's got a hint of boogie-woogie piano in the background, which accents the song in a unique way. Page kills it again in the solo. I'm still hearing plenty of guitar, more so than keyboards to this point. It reminds me a little of the style of Houses of the Holy. Next, we have the track Fool in the Rain. It's a classic Led Zeppelin song that gets a ton of radio play still. I love this song. Robert Plant's vocals are still remarkable even at this point of Zeppelin's career. The piano is really memorable on this track and doesn't ever take away from the power of the song. It's got a nice reggae feel to it and it flows nicely. Next, we have the track Hot Dog. The piano is center stage on this track. Lyrically, it's one of the strangest Zeppelin songs. It's kind of got a moderate country influence to it. It swings like a rock song from the 50s, complete with Elvis-era inspired guitar playing. It's okay, definitely not terrible, but just over 3 minutes, it goes by fast. Next, we have the track Carousel Ombre. Okay, the keyboard beats you over the head on this track. Plant's vocals are buried a little in the mix. The keyboard riff gets monotonous and at times makes a happy-sounding Zeppelin track, which moves it into the truly bizarre and is probably the catalyst for all the hate. When the keyboard switches it up, this track is a lot easier to listen to. I love the time change in the middle a lot. It's not as bad as everyone says it is. 10 minutes is definitely too long for a track in this style, though. Next, we have the track All My Love, the biggest single off this album, and a song that Robert Plant had written for his son, who had passed away shortly before the recording of the album. The keyboard adds to the emotional resonance of the song, in which you hear Plant's heartbreaking vocal delivery. Definitely Zeppelin's most emotional song, and it's a beautiful song as well. Finally, we have the track I'm Gonna Crawl. It's another keyboard-laden track. The rhythm section holds down a nice bluesy groove. It has a cool guitar nuance throughout it that switches between arpeggios and little chord complements. A really cool guitar solo towards the middle of the track. Page never fails to deliver on his solos. It's a nice ending to what ended up being a very pleasant album overall. Why the hate? This album's really, really good. It does not deserve any of the hate it gets. Outside of the main riff of Carousel Ombre, the keyboard complements but never takes away from any of the tracks. It was an interesting style change that stayed rooted in the essence of what made Zeppelin sound, the grooves, and the musicianship. This could have been an indefensive because of how much I ended up liking this album. It is a bit of a left turn for Zeppelin and showed that even a Zeppelin album heavy on keyboards can deliver in that classic Zeppelin style. Highly recommended for fans of All My Love and Fool in the Rain and any of the later day so-called radio-friendly Zeppelin tracks. This is an underrated classic for sure.